It's time to focus on the things you need, the things you deserve. You deserve a healthy body. Supplements that get you moving and keep you moving. That make you feel good, look good, do good. And they shouldn't contain GMOs, artificial ingredients, or heavy metals, ever. Supplements that are clinically studied, use proven absorption technologies, are designed by scientists, and are ethically sourced and produced. Supplements with everything you need, nothing you don't. You deserve a company that you can trust, that's dedicated to safe manufacturing practices and third-party testing, that ensures the highest quality of effectiveness from extraction of ingredients all the way to the composition of the packaging. Wait a second. You deserve to see the process. You deserve a company led by a CEO with a deep belief in the power of people, dedicated to inspiring entrepreneurs to achieve success. A company with a phytonutrient chemist and expert on natural molecules who is obsessed with human health and has your best interest in mind to design its products. A board comprised of talented doctors from around the world. You deserve to be surrounded by people you trust and look up to. Empowered ambassadors that inspire wellness every day. Leaders who are rooting for you to be the best version of yourself. A community that works hard and plays hard. You deserve to experience adventures that take you around the world. And you deserve to be recognized for your hard work. It's time to get what you deserve. It's time to shift your focus. 3.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to 3 Global Wellness Wednesday. Of course, depending on where you are, this might be your Wellness Thursday since we are streaming into 14 different countries. Tonight, you can expect some great knowledge from my friend Marisa Mangiameli, an interactive health and functional nutritional coach, as well as some health testimonies from real people with real results. I am your host, Kassy Havel. I live in a small town in Central Texas. I am a mom of 4 adult kids and 2 beautiful, amazing grandsons. I am a nurse. I've been a nurse for almost 30 years. And you know, the thing about the nursing profession is that, you know, there are endless possibilities. And as I went through my nursing career, I started to notice just some changes in the foundation of the healthcare system. And I worked really hard to find my fit. I kept thinking something was missing. And lo and behold, my husband got, I guess he ate some really bad chicken and his body just decided not to work. It decided to, instead of attack the bacteria from the bad chicken, it attacked his nervous system. We spent a long time in the ICU and a very long recovery with PT and OT. And we were in our mid-30s. And, you know, it was just a very rough recovery having teenagers at the same time and a husband that, you know, cognitively just wasn't the same as he was before. And although he went back to work and his friendships were really great, the parenting side we really struggled with. And when I talked with our neurologist, he just basically said, you should just be grateful that he is doing as well as he is. Most people don't. And I just knew in my heart, do you ever feel that way? Do you ever feel like that's just not right? That's just not enough? Like there's something else out there. This can't be the way that the rest of my life is going to go. So I spent 8 long years looking and searching for a solution for my husband. And it's so weird. When I found that solution, it was about the exact time that my kids were graduating high school and moving on with their own lives. And I was becoming an empty nester. And, you know, I was the mom that, you know, needed to be at everything. I was the taxi driver. And if I wasn't there, I was on some video. And, you know, what was I if I wasn't mom, right? And so I was kind of struggling with that. And, you know, it just kind of happened all at the same time where I found a new field of nursing, and it was proactive wellness, where we address the root of disease instead of trying to take a symptom and just trying to find something that will fix that exact symptom. We're looking at malnutrition, toxicity, oxidation, and inflammation. And finding 3 was kind of like, I don't know, I mean, like, it just happened, and I was like, how did I not know that this was the answer? That it did exactly what I was searching for in a supplement. And so I'm so excited to be here. I want you to know that what we talk about tonight, we are absolutely not trying to tell you that we cure, treat, or diagnose any disease. What we are telling you is if you feed your body what it needs, it can do amazing things. Your body is capable of doing such amazing things. And that's what we did for my husband. We fed his body nutrients that he needed in order to do the work to compensate for the injury that he had. His injury will never go away, but feeding the body, it made his body able to make new processes, so the cognition is no longer an issue. So before, I mean, I could talk to you for hours, guys, but I actually am super excited to bring my friend Marisa Mangiameli on, because her and I have some of the best discussions, and I just feel like you all would love hearing from her. Marisa, so girl, tell me. So every time we get on and you start talking about what you do, I always go, okay. Now, I remember that first conversation we had. So when I'm introducing her to somebody, I'm like, tell them what you do. Tell them what that means. So go ahead, share with everybody what it is, what you do, and how amazing you are.
Well, thank you, Kassy, for such a warm welcome. And thank you, everybody, for joining us and sharing your time with us tonight. So like Kassy shared, I'm an integrative health and functional nutrition practitioner. What that looks like is a lot of things and a lot of hats to different people. But it's a really growing space because people are looking for solutions. Essentially, what I do is work with people on really rooting out, getting curious about their health, finding things that work for them, discovering underlying root causes, sometimes by process of elimination, sometimes through lab work, sometimes through the whole picture. You know, it's actually always the whole picture.
Right.
And so what I do is really just partner alongside of people on their journey to support them, provide resources, provide lab work with their healthcare team, if that's what they want. I actually really love partnering with physicians and being part of the team because I feel like we can get a lot more accomplished if the doctors are on board as well. And it's just been an incredible space. And I feel like right now in healthcare, it's a really needed thing, right? I help people bridge the gap from what they take home from their doctor and what they are like, oh my God, how do I do that? You know, how many times do we hear people, if they have, say, diabetes, for example, go to the doctor and the doctor's like, well, you know, it's just, you know, we're pre-diabetic and we want to get ahead of it. So you need to eat better and work out. And they send people home with that information. And people are like, I don't know what that means. I don't, you know, what do I change? What do I start? How do I start? Where do I start? And so in my space, it's actually helping people understand those things and also understanding what their capacity is, right? Because some people have great capacity and they're like, I want to do all the things. I want to dive right in. I'm going to go cold turkey. I'm going to like do a sugar detox. And other people are like, I can't do that. You know, I'm maybe willing to say I'll go walk and I'll take a supplement, but I don't know, I'm not ready to fully 180 my diet, you know? So for me, I actually love what we have because it bridges the gap, leveling the playing field, you know, for the person with less capacity up front and the person with more. And the person who has the greater capacity and drive to really go all in, which is a lot. I don't expect anybody to do that. What we have just expedites their process, right? I mean, it speeds it up. I wish I went through my own autoimmune journey about 14 years ago, and it's what led me into the integrative health space, because I felt uncomfortable with the path I was given in traditional medicine. And I had a really good neurologist who said, if you're unwilling to go down this path, you need to seek out an integrative doctor that'll take you down another path. And, for me, that's the choice. That's what I did. It led to really great results for me with diet and lifestyle. At the time, like, supplements were overwhelming. Like, how many people on this call are like here because they want to learn a little more because they're overwhelmed by walking into the store and supplements. So, like, Kassy,
I do.
there's
I
like
do.
hundreds, right? You walk
Yeah.
in, and so when I went on my own journey, I was like, I am not touching a supplement, even though I know the benefits. I mean, even then I was well aware of the benefits, but it's like, how do you know which one to take? And what makes this one different than this one? And like, do I really have to take 20 to get all of the things in? And it's like, here at 3, like, well, no, you don't actually, because thanks to our incredible Chief Scientific Officer, Dr. Dan, we curate our products to be a blend of complementary, synergistic ingredients. So it's not like, what some people might say, take 5 supplements, have in their cabinet for. We can maybe help them get that down to 1 or 2 products, instead of 5 to 8 products. And so that's amazing too, because the whole part of food helping you, physical activity helping you, supplementation helping you, all of these different things is compliance.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
if you
don't do it consistently.
Right. Right. So that's a big barrier, I think, with supplements as well, is because if you do the deep dive, you're probably like lining 20 bottles up in your kitchen. And then you're like, oh my God, I can't.
Oh, that was Guy.
I
mean,
can't
my
do
husband's totally, like, I did all this research and I was like, this is what we should do. And he was like, that tastes bad. I don't want to do that. I can't do that. I like Dr. Pepper. I like a fried pie. I mean, like, he really was acting his biggest teenage self at the time.
Yes.
Any of you out there with a sick spouse that's a male, you know what I'm saying, right? So, I mean, I totally get you. That's another reason why we mesh so well with 3, because it's so much in one product. And the absorption technologies, 12 absorption technologies to ensure that it gets down to the cellular level, you know? And that's why we notice differences, right?
For sure. So let's talk about the science of that a little bit. So I'm really diligent, and I have to be, like I shared, I do work in that integrative space. And that means I am integrated into the healthcare system. I personally come from a holistic modality. That is however, there's a time and place for the meds. And a lot of my clients are on a lot of meds. And so it's really important to be working with their physicians through this process. And one of the things that makes it really seamless for me with our products is that our products are listed in the prescriber's digital reference. And for those of you who are not in pharmaceutical or healthcare space and don't know what that means, what it means is that every single one of our products is listed in what the doctors consider the pharmaceutical Bible. It's what they use for diagnosing and prescribing, making recommendations, contraindications, looking up even molecular structure of certain pharmaceuticals. So to be in what we call the PDR, the products there has to be a need state in healthcare for them. So there has to be a need for prescribers, physicians to have a use for what you're presenting, whether it's, an anti-inflammatory or, a mood modulator or a blood sugar insulin modulator, those things. So there has to be a need for it, right? The second piece is that it has to be made from scratch through a curative process. And what that means is that whoever is applying to have their product in the PDR cannot generally manufacture that product, meaning I can say, hey, I'd like to contract manufacture an anti-inflammatory from you. I know you make them. It has to be actually something that we've put together, curated ourselves as a company. And then it has to be independently third-party inspected, tested for purity, quality, so from sourcing through manufacturing, processing to consumer. We are that with our CGMP, and also go above and beyond those requirements with incredible testing of our ingredients. There has to be research, clinical, peer-reviewed medical research showing benefits of the ingredients. There has to be clinical studies showing that there's efficacy of the actual product as it's curated. These are really big things. So these are big check marks for me off the board. And then my other personal check marks are that I want a product that's non-GMO. Check, we have that. I want a product that has really clean ingredients. Check, we have that. There's no binders, there's no artificials, there's no plastics. People don't realize that a lot of capsules in supplements and medicines are actually made from plastics. There are no artificial colors, dyes, no artificial sugars, no artificial sweeteners. Like, it is, I think, hands down the cleanest product line out there. I truly believe that, because I am a research nerd, and I look, and you know, guys, in my practice, we have nutraceuticals, which means they are blended products with lots of different things in them. Sometimes I just need a vitamin D. If I need that, I'm recommending that to somebody, right? When I'm recommending an isolate, I have those same exact requirements, you know, and so that really narrows down the options of what's out there, because supplements are not actually regulated. So to check all those boxes for me was phenomenal, and it makes it seamless with the physicians, because most doctors are like, you know, I can't really get behind supplements. You don't always know what's in them, even if there's research backing the ingredients. And I'm like, well, these are in the PDR, and it always makes them pause.
Yep. Happened to me today. I took my grandmother to the doctor, and she had stayed with me for 7 days, and I gave her the immune because she had this nasal drip, and I gave her the immune, and it was gone. So I took it to him because she lives in assisted living, and you can't take anything unless it goes to the doctor, which I gave it to him, and he was like, well, I mean, I know all of these supplements are really great. I mean, like, he's very well versed in nutrients specifically, but he was like, but I'm more comfortable. And I said, it's in the physician's desk reference. We can pull it up and you can have a closer look at it. And he goes, she can have it. Like, no more question. He was like, do you have more information on the other what other products are there? Are they all in the physician's desk reference? And I said, yes. And so, I mean, like, it's crazy the difference that makes the standard, because they know they can trust that what they're telling their patients are in there. It's not going to, you know, it's whole food based. And so they know what is actually in it, and they know whether it's going to affect the patient or not. And I love that so much.
Yes, it's incredible, honestly. And, you know, there's less than 30 non-pharmaceutical companies accepted in the PDR. We're one of them. And we're the only one that has all of our product line accepted.
Yeah.
Which is including our new Neurocosmetic, which is also super exciting. Like, to me, when I talk to people and they're like, oh, that's great, I'm like, no, I don't think you get it. Like, what 3 is doing is actually advancing healthcare in a way that nobody is. And I love it. I mean, so Neurocosmetic is brand new to market.
So tell us what that is. I think some people are on here going, what is that?
So it is basically using your skin brain connection to deliver or upregulate or downregulate things that benefit your body. And so what we have is a serum. It's a skin serum. And we were chatting actually before this call about how I'm not a skincare person. I'm just throwing that out there. I literally wash my face with water. If I have something on my face, like face paint, because my daughter face painted my face, or the rare occasion I wear makeup, I use coconut oil to get it off. And then I use a warm washcloth again with water. So I do not have a skincare regime. I'm not a skincare person. I'm not like, I must look younger. That's not me. But I will share that what the serum has done for my skin is insane. Like, I've always, from a child, I've always had like dark, puffy under eyes. It's just been my thing for my whole life. And it has, like, it's crazy how much it's eliminated it. And like, I have before and after pictures. You can find me on Instagram or Facebook if you want, because I shared some there, and I'll be sharing some more soon. But really, the coolest thing is that, yeah, it does all this amazing anti-aging stuff to your skin, right? But it does amazing anti-aging stuff to your cells and your brain. You know, I'm excited. It's clinically studied, which is how it ended up in the PDR. Those will be published soon and released soon. I'm excited for when that happens.
Me
But what
too.
we got to learn when we released it was that in the studies, it increased the body's like natural levels of DHEA. And I'll share a little bit more about what these things do. Serotonin, dopamine, NAD plus, all of these things are like amazing for cognitive function. Think about like, I know some people are familiar with some of those terms, and they're basically like
NAD is big right now. Like it's
NAD
all,
is
I mean, if
so,
you're on social media, you guys know what I'm talking about. All all influencers and movie stars and people in the music industry, they're all talking about NAD.
well,
No
because
joke.
NAD, like NAD plus essentially in the body, like if you can up regulate the NAD plus in your body, you can essentially increase your ability to decrease aging. I mean, it has been shown to increase telomere length. And what that is like, it's your part of your DNA strands. It's the little tips of it. And as you age, they get shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter. And with that shortening is degeneration, right? And that's at the DNA level. So that's through your whole body, not just cognitively, not just skin, not just bone. It's everything, right? And so if you can actually support that from stopping or increase it, which is what NAD plus does, it's literally like it's reverse aging at the DNA and cellular level. So it's really significant what it can do to your systems and support your body in incredible ways. And then DHEA is something that, you know, it's it's just it does so many things. It helps with your stress management. There are studies showing that if you have a higher DHEA to cortisol ratio, that it actually improves your body's ability to be able to handle stress, decrease anxiety, decrease depression. It actually has been shown in studies to increase bone density. That's really significant. That's really important for women, especially because as women going through menopause, we start to lose bone density, and we have to do a lot of things to take care of that, like strength train and eat the right foods. And there's so many things that make it hard, right? So that's
Mhm.
a really big one too. The cognitive function, it really helps support all cognitive function and focus, and really help support not having degeneration.
Right.
Things that are really important as you age. And then
Yeah,
look at
there's so many degenerative conditions out there. And, we're all worried about, I mean, like, yes, we want to look younger, but if you don't recognize who is in the mirror, what difference does it make? And I love that proactive wellness is looking at, let's get to the root of the issue. Let's see what we can fix, because conditions or diagnosis come 10 to 20 years after your body already has symptoms. So I love that with proactive wellness, guys. And if you're new here, I'm so excited that you're here, because your mind is just going to open up to so many amazing things. Because when you start thinking about getting at the beginning and not at the end, when the doctor tells you you have this disorder, being able to do something at the beginning. I mean, right now we're in this time where people want a solution for something at the end. Well, what if we could stop the domino from going? And that's what we're here for. And I love that not only is Marisa here, but we have a whole panel of practitioners with us who are just real people that are having real results, not just for them, but also in their practices. And I would love to bring all of them on. And
I'm excited for this.
I know, me too, because this is always my favorite part of Wellness Wednesdays. So I want to bring on Clair DiFazio first. And guys, all three of our exceptional panel is on here for you to look at. You should definitely look at their conditionals, because this is amazing that I am sitting here on this panel. I'm helping to host it. Oh my gosh, pinch me. I feel like I've moved into a whole new realm. Okay, so Clair, when we were talking before, you were a NICU nurse first, which we
Yes.
had a big connection with that. And now you're a chiropractor. Tell me why you stand behind 3.
Well, I've got supplement companies always knocking on my door trying to sell supplements. And I've had supplements. I always did supplements for 30 years. And I go, "Oh, another supplement company, another," and then 3 walks in the door and they hit me with, they're in the prescriber's digital reference, and which I was my Bible when I was a nurse. I had to open up that Bible to look up meds. I was like, oh my God, they got me at hello. I think I will listen. And then I was starting to have some major health issues myself. And it, like, I think it was like a godly thing. They walked in the door and my system was just like going, and so the first product I entertained was the collagen, because all through COVID, the back of my calf, it was about 4 inches wide, 12 inches long. It was dry. I'm like, oh, it's probably psoriasis. It's probably my gut health. So I'll try their collagen. Let me try that. 2 months, all gone. Nothing. It has been gone since. Love it. Love it. Oh my gosh. So I think, well, gut health. So the Vitality has the probiotic, prebiotic enzyme for digestion. And I was literally having dumping syndrome, if anybody knows what that is. It's just like water goes in, water goes out. Anyway, that's a terrible thing to talk about, but it was terrible. I couldn't eat almost anything, even if it wasn't gluten. It just, oh, no, nothing. Tried the high fiber, tried that, nope, didn't work. So that would be your traditional, a lot of medical doctors are just saying, take Metamucil, I'm like, I'm not going there. So, I tried the dietary, it wasn't working enough for me. And when I did Vitality, I will tell you, when I'm doing that, I am perfect. I swear nothing's happened. And I have that testimonial with patients. I had a patient go into US Digestive Health, and they wanted to put her on a hardcore meds for her gut. And she said, I've been on them for a few weeks. They're doing nothing. She's about 68. And I gave her the Vitality, came back 3 weeks later, and she said, I love that stuff. And I go, it's working. And she goes, yeah, it's working. My stomach doesn't rumble, bumble, nothing now. She says, I don't have any issue at all. So, and genetic stuff, which I was starting to have genetic issues. I look at my aunt and uncle, and I'm thinking, oh, I'm never going to be like them. Oh, now I'm showing their signs. And then, so when I know that all the products, they test these genetic factors like IL-6 inflammatory markers, and I'm like, if you can downgrade IL-6, you can attack so much inflammation in the body. And inflammation is the root of all evil, right? We know it kills joints, guts, brains. It's a killer. So why don't we all know what our IL-6 is? So when I started to hear about that they study the genetic factors and how their supplement impacts them, I was just like amazed. Like Eternal, their one supplement downgrades the IL-6 by 1,250%. Is that right?
Yep. Yep, that's correct.
And I was like, I just want to guzzle this, because I know that my gut was inflamed. Obviously, it was showing up in my skin. I needed help. I needed 911 help. And I know I was not going to go to medicine and go, like, what are they going to do for me? Because I know I was a nurse. I'm not going to get what I want when I go in there. So I'd be upset and I'd leave kind of. So I'm just like, I'll just figure this out myself, which in 3 figured it out for me. So I can't say enough, but for my own health, for my patients' health, that it really, yeah, it's amazing. And I'm picky because I've sold supplements. So it's not like I'm going to entertain just any supplement, and especially seeing the proof is in the pudding. It happened. It's happened to my own health.
I love all the things that you touched on, because I'm a science nerd. Like, I'm totally a science nerd, but I'm going to have Marisa share with the rest of the guys on here, because I'm not sure that everybody's a science nerd like me. She touched on some different genes that most people are going to go,
epigenetics.
She's talking about. Tell me about epigenetics, and tell me about the study that she was talking about. Tell us in layman's terms so that we can all get what she was saying, because it is so good. It is so good.
So I'm super happy too, because I'm also a science nerd, and this is one of my favorite things that 3 has done. So if you're not familiar with epigenetics, think of it this way. A lot of us will say things like, oh, I have this going on because my mom had it and my dad had it, or my grandmother had it, or 5 generations had it, whatever it is, bad stomach, bad digestion, diabetes, whatever, right? But what it comes down to is actually just like at the maximum, 10% is genetically predetermined, and it's really more like a 3 to 5% window. So that means like 90%, really more like 95%, is actually impacted by things that turn on and turn off your gene, just like a light switch. So it's like, I'm going to go out boozing tonight, and that is going to turn on some bad switches in my body. Switches like inflammation, and it's going to make my liver not happy, and it's going to make other things not happy. And so the epigenetics is amazing because it's actually looking at, okay, what things are actually turning on good switches, turning off bad switches, and vice versa, right? Because you want to know what's happening inversely. So what we did was we took 4 of our top products and put them in an independent clinical epigenetic study where they looked at how our products impacted about 8 genetic factors that encompass overall wellness. Things like inflammation, cognitive health and function, cellular energy and energy levels, and insulin and blood sugar modulation. Those 4 things are really big for your overall wellness, right? Like homeostasis in the body, balance in the body. So what Claire is talking about, Dr. Claire is talking about, is that in that study, our products are really in vitro. That means like in the lab, they did some amazing things with those switches in a really positive way that translates to some really good things for your body.
Yeah. So again, guys, can you see why this new field of nursing for me makes me so happy and so passionate? Because I want to stop things before the domino happens. So, when you're scared about, your family has this predisposition, like my husband's, father died from heart disease at a very young age. And I was always worried that my husband would pass away early. But worry doesn't help anything. Action does. And these are simple things that you can feed your body so that it can do the job that it's meant to do, because it doesn't want to follow that same path. It just wants you to feed it what it needs so it can do the job that was designed to do. All right, we're gonna jump on over to Courtney Kassis. She is a registered dietitian. I'm so excited to have you on here. I wish I would have known you when I was going through all the things with my husband. I think you would have really, really helped me. So I'm gonna ask you the same question. Tell me why you stand behind 3.
Yeah, so thank you so much. I'm a registered dietitian and have been for about 6 years now. I was first introduced to 3 supplements over 6 months ago. And when I found them, I couldn't be more excited because, like so many have already mentioned, it's so hard to find high quality supplements. And as somebody who consistently takes supplements myself, not knowing what's in them, what the ingredients are, if they're third party tested, those things are really important to me. And I have pretty high standards when it comes to that for myself and my clients that I see in coaching. So finding 3 supplements was so amazing. And even though I'm a dietitian, I feel like I have my diet pretty dialed in. But I'm sure most of us know that nowadays our diets just aren't as rich in nutrients as they once were. And I truly believe almost everyone should be complementing their diet with some sort of high quality supplement to make sure you're getting enough of what you need. Because like Marisa was saying, it's getting to the root cause with the right diet and nutrition and lifestyle changes to really make a difference. And you can, I've had so many clients kind of undo their insulin resistance and undo their prediabetes. And myself was able to put my autoimmune condition into remission with the correct, lifestyle, diet, nutrition changes, and that sort of thing. But I was unsure about the more conventional route I was going as a dietitian when I was first learning about nutrition. And I did also end up choosing the more holistic integrative path. Again, looking at the root cause of health conditions. And I help identify nutrients as a dietitian that might help an individual feel better. And I create a plan from there. So like I've mentioned, I've been using 3 supplements for over 6 months now. And I remember the first thing I noticed was a huge improvement in my energy levels and way less brain fog, I would say probably within the first couple of weeks. And I'm thinking the reason this one was most apparent to me was because I'm a twin mom. So I can really feel at 2 p.m., 3 p.m. when I am just crashing. So I noticed, again, within 1 to 2 weeks, a huge improvement in that. And I specifically love Purify. I have them right here. Purify and Immune. I have 2 autoimmune conditions. I have Hashimoto's, which is autoimmune of the thyroid. And I also have Raynaud's, which is an autoimmune disease related to circulation. So beyond general health and wellness, I love that these supplements combined with the right diet have really improved my energy, reduced my joint pain, reduced my brain fog, like I said, just overall sluggishness. And of course, the Purify, I love that it's, you know, a whole body detox. It really supports your liver. It's so important to support your liver. It's just so crucial. And I feel like, unfortunately, it often gets overlooked. So I also have a coaching program where I help clients. And again, like Marisa was saying, it's important to my clients to be able to find something that they can stick with. So we start with really short-term attainable goals from a diet standpoint. And then when it comes to supplements, I love that, again, it's not 10 or more, 20 or more supplements that my clients need to take. They only need to take a few. You know, some of them come in little packs. You can just grab them and go. So it fits really nicely into my lifestyle as a busy mom. I'm sure a lot of you can relate, and it fits into a lot of my clients' lifestyle as well. So I'm really excited to keep taking them, and I'm excited to continue to keep recommending them to my clients because I know it'll help them feel their best.
Oh, I love that. I love that so much. You touched on so many different things, but I wanted to just touch on 2 things that I'm hoping Marisa can help us out with. You mentioned the Immune, which is the immune system modulator, right? And the Purify, which is going to detox how many different systems, Marisa?
5. Yeah, all of your filtering organs. And like I saw Tracy smiling because Tracy's heard me talk about it. You know, I've done like workshops and stuff at our wellness center. And so like, Courtney, you were speaking my language with the Purify and the liver support. I like harp on that so much. The liver is literally the workhorse of your body. So like Courtney, I tend to focus on the liver when I'm sharing about Purify, but in all honesty and transparency, Purify supports your liver, your colon, your kidneys, your skin, and your lungs. Literally all of your filtering organs, which is very significant. I actually don't know another product on the market that does that. I've looked. Doesn't mean there isn't one, but I'm really kind of like a dig in researcher, and I have not found one that supports all the filtering organs in the way that Purify does. So it's a phenomenal product. And if anybody has seen any even like clips from, you know, Capitol Hill when they had the hearing on chronic illness in our country, one of the biggest things that came up was nutrition and toxic exposure. You know, the 2 biggest things impacting chronic illness in our country. And so when you can address nutrition and toxic exposure and really get it under control, you can do significant things for your body. So I love that. And I do want to say, guys, you know, always keep in mind, these are supplements. Courtney and I are kind of, well, actually all of us on this panel are in the healthcare space. We do use it probably in a therapeutic fashion at times. But supplements are meant to supplement your lifestyle, right? Yes. They are not an end all be all. You can't eat McDonald's 24/7 and take our products and think you're good. You know, it does bridge the gap though for you. It helps fill those things. And it's definitely going to make you feel better if you are eating McDonald's 24/7, but you're probably not going to get the same results as someone who's making some changes and going for some walks and getting better sleep and getting the hydration. So I just wanted to throw that out there to do my due diligence on that.
Oh, I love that. I love that. I love that. You know, one of the first things I learned when I got into proactive wellness was, you know, the discussion about how many toxins we consume every day. And we never think that our body needs to have any type of, you know, filtration maintenance. But we do it on our cars all the time because we know our cars won't work. But we wonder why we have the symptoms that we have. And people just go, oh, it's just a part of aging. Well, it is a part of aging in this country because it's a culture we've created that it's okay to expose yourself to 90,000 toxins every single day.
Yes.
But the body is starting to say no. And that's, again, getting it before the first domino hits. Let's go ahead and attack and go ahead and clean out all those filtration systems. So I love that. Amen. I love that. I love that. Okay. All right. Tracy McGovern. Okay. This is our reflexologist. She also is an owner of a wellness center. I think she, I mean, just talking to her before we started, I just am so blessed that you and I got to meet. So tell me, why you stand behind 3.
Okay, well, so I've been practicing reflexology for over 20 years, which is crazy. And what's great about reflexology is it really sets your body up to do what it can do. And so it's when you give, I always tell people, whatever you're doing, reflexology is going to help your body do it more. And so this is just it's a great set of tools to help your body be able to do more. But really what happened was, I also have an autoimmune thing. And, since I'm an exceptional, human, I set myself into a nice big flare. And so I was introduced to Revive, which is our anti-inflammatory supplement. And it was for me, it was about 5 days when I like the significant reduction in pain in my joints. And it just allowed me to kind of get back on track and start moving and doing, inspiring me to be able to do things better. And then from there, I just started trying all the different things. And so Vitality was for like, I am a morning person, and normally for me, I get a little bit into the day and, basically I always say like, I start to get stupid and it just continues on. I'm not a night person. I can't think anyway. So after taking Vitality, what I noticed was I wasn't like getting tired in the middle of the day. And I was working on the computer on like projects at 8:30 at night, and it was crazy and I didn't understand it. And then they released that epigenetic study. And it was just fascinating to me that the things I was noticing, the clarity and being more alert and like losing some of the brain fog and all that. And then it was like laid out like the science, like why that was happening. It was just really fascinating for me. But I work with a lot of people with different autoimmunes and all different kinds of things, but a lot of autoimmune clients. And I was talking about these things because they were helping me. And so we ended up bringing it into the Wellness Center. I'm co-owner of Complete Wellness in Quakertown. And so we don't bring anything in there that hasn't done things for us. And
Right.
so we brought it in, and it's just been like, just the things I hear from the collagen is helping people, walking up and down steps where they were having pain in their knees from that. And like the Visage, the new Neurocosmetic that Marisa was talking about, like for me, like I can't stop talking about that. And it's the same thing, like, yay, like these lines are gone in my forehead. That's great. That's not the thing that impresses me the most. What impresses me the most is it took my whole like emotional baseline from like in the basement to like the 5th floor. And it's been amazing. Like, and it hasn't gone away. Like I was thinking that I think Claire said the same thing. Like, it's a couple days in, you're like, I feel great. This is an awesome placebo effect. But like we're a month into it, and it's just like my resilience is there, and like it's amazing. So like, yeah, I can totally stand behind this because I've seen what it does for me, and I'm seeing what it does for other people. And I'm really picky about all the things, everything that's what's in it, and I'm a label reader and all that kind of stuff. And these guys found more boxes to check than I ever even would have thought of. So just everything new I learned about it, I'm more impressed. And yeah, it's just, everything is exceptional. So I'm
Yeah, it gives me chills when I hear, how people experience it too, because I remember I felt that way too. Oh yeah, me. Yeah. Okay. Well, guys, we've taken a lot of your Wednesday evening, and we could seriously talk for hours, but I'm going to let Marisa close us out. I'm sure there's some final points that she would like to just touch on after Tracy spoke. But before we do that, I just wanted to thank you again for tuning in and, just hearing from us. And we talked a lot about different product names. And if you don't know what we're talking about, get with the person that invited you, because honestly, it's been life-changing for a lot of us here. So Marisa.
Yeah, well, first I want to thank everybody for coming on tonight. And hats off to Pennsylvania representing tonight. We've got a bunch of us on from Pennsylvania, so that's amazing, and I love that. And I really just want to say that, like, this is what I love about what we have here is the connections. Like, look at how we're all intertwined and connected. I think that's a beautiful thing that actually has nothing to do about a supplement, you know what I mean? And it has to do with human connection. And human connection is a big piece of the health puzzle. When we talk about holistic wellness, to me, that looks like the person's whole, and that's the nutrition, of course, and it's the toxin burden, and it's hydration, and it's physical activity, but it's also relationships and connection and community. And so I love that we literally have all of those things here. I think it's incredible that we get to support people from the inside out in so many ways. I think that it's incredible that our product is such a caliber that it's literally starting to change healthcare. Just look at the practitioners that are on this call tonight. Not only did it impact their lives personally, but it's impacting their clients and their patients' lives. And that's significant to me. That has taken me from being, I'm an introvert, and it took a bit for me to find my voice to share. But every time I hear these stories, and honestly, Tracy has so many from her clients that we could be on for another hour. They're so impactful. They light me up. Like whenever she sends me like an email from someone or a screenshot of, or I get my own text messages, Kassy, I know you get them too. You get a text message where you've changed somebody's life just by sharing what we have here. And that is so fulfilling in so many ways. And I just love that we are out there positively touching people's lives. And this is such a positive movement globally in all the ways. And so thank you so much for taking the time to listen tonight. There's so much more we could share with you. And if you're interested in learning more, get with the person that invited you on tonight. They'll get you all the information. If you want to take a look at the studies, we've actually got multiple clinical studies, not just the epigenetics. They'll get those over to you. If you want to learn more about the different products, we have 7 products that really address foundational health. Like Kassy shared, it hits all the big hitters that can cause dysregulation and problems when you're dysregulated. So get with that person that invited you, learn about what we have, come out to our meetings, get on our Zooms, have fun with us. Thank you so much for joining us today, tonight, whatever it is for you, whatever area of the world you're in. Thanks, Kassy.
Good night, guys. Good morning, guys. Have a great night. Great morning.